let me take you through the fuel crisis, the LPG fuel crisis. Is it really true? Are we facing LPG and petrol crisis in India? Well, at least that's what we're looking at on the ground when it comes to panic. There's immense panic. We're looking at in Bikaner, Rajasthan. Chaos was triggered by whispers of diesel and petrol shortage. We saw long queues there, people trying to fuel up just in case we run out of it. But the administration has come out strongly saying there is no fuel, petrol, diesel shortage as of this point. District Collector Namrata Vrishni has made it quite clear supplies are stable, stocks are adequate, and the supply chain is functioning smoothly. The District Supply Officer Naresh Sharma has echoed the same. No reason to panic, he says, no need to hoard. So then why the rush? Because, well, we're looking at a global turbulence indeed. We are in the middle of a West Asia war. We're looking at this situation at this point that prevails across the globe. Some of them calling it the fourth major oil shock since the 1970s. Conflict in key regions, especially around crucial routes like the Strait of Hormuz, has raised a lot of concerns. But here's the counterpoint that India is putting forward. Multiple crude and LPG vessels are already en route to India. Indian LPG carriers like Jagvasant and Pine Gas are bringing over 92,000 metric tons of LPG. These shipments are expected to dock between March 26 and 28. And add to that, India's refining capacity has significantly increased over the last decade. Domestic LPG production is up, PNG connections have expanded, reducing dependence on cylinders, supply chains remain intact. While there may be no panic for oil, the wider lens shows us that the government is assuring stability, but there are concerns on other fronts like the LPG availability, which still remains tight. There are talks of reducing LPG cylinders from 14 kgs to 10 kgs for wider distribution. That's what the government is doing to try and ensure there's no shortage. Opposition voices too raising an alarm on the shortage there that are already hurting hotels and canteens and vulnerable households across India. Even though there's no real shortage, but it seems like panic is resulting in this excessive buying and inevitable shortage. Of course, the commercial industry is certainly facing a clear shortage because the government has said domestic consumption first. That's the priority. The government has come out and also increased commercial LPG now after a week or in fact 2 weeks of hardship for industries like the hotel industry, etc. The government has finally now come out to increase that commercial supply. Offering some relief to restaurants and small businesses. The centre has allowed an additional 20% allocation of commercial LPG to states and union territories, taking the total commercial LPG supply to 50% of pre-crisis levels as it steps up efforts to manage the shortage. They prioritize this for key sectors like I said, hotels, restaurants, dhabas, industrial canteens, food processing and dairy units, subsidized kitchens and community feeding programs. As well as 5 kg cylinders for migrant laborers also has been supplied. In fact, this is still 50% less. We're still looking at a 50% shortage. So indeed, there is shortage, no denying that. But amidst this LPG shortage, eateries across the city are trying to bat some financial crisis because that's the ripple effect. When you're not able to run business, you're not able to pay salaries, you're losing out, many of them losing. In fact, restaurants have already started to lay off, but we don't know to what scale, but that has begun already. Commercial LPG cylinders and soaring black market prices also continuing to increase this vulnerability. 4,000 now that was. Now 7,000, I mean, basically currently what the price is of LPG, it's being sold in black market for 4,000 to 7,000 rupees. And that's severely disrupted daily operations as well. So we're looking at a whole ripple effect that continues with restaurants really bearing the brunt. And while now there's some increase in LPG in the commercial space, the poor samosa stalls, the humble bhaji bonda stalls, these are people who are bearing the brunt. Small bakeries, they're not really getting hold of LPG as they would. Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin criticized the Prime Minister over what he describes as lack of preparedness by the government to handle the LPG situation, asserting that preparedness cannot be outsourced to people. BRS, K.T. Rama Rao, has staged a protest demanding immediate intervention from both the state and the central governments to address the gas shortage in Telangana. Karnataka MLCs across party lines pressing the state government to prioritize LPG supply to hotels and restaurants, especially in cities like Bengaluru, where we're looking at large working population in the city of Bengaluru. The government in Karnataka says that they are dealing with the LPG crisis, supplies are steady, but well, visuals telling a different story of anxiety, uncertainty, what concrete steps is the government really taking to ensure black marketing is curbed? Now, this is, of course, where the crisis lies. As much as the government says all okay, doesn't seem like on the ground. Chandra Prakash, a quick word from you. Chandra Prakash and Subramanya Hola. Subramanya is the president of the Bangalore Hotel Association. Let me start with Subramanya. What's the actual crunch right now, Subramanya? Could you explain to us in a nutshell?
Well,
is it still a bad situation?
We thought today the supplies will come in because the three oil companies have agreed to supply today. And I have not seen a major response from the oil companies today in Bangalore. And what reports I have received is that the gases, the LPG has, especially IOC, has not supplied most of the people. So I don't see anything changing after the meeting with the minister yesterday that he had promised us that today we'll get about 30% of the gas supplies of the week, whatever it is. So according to reports I have seen, the black marketing is becoming rampant now. In fact, I have been seeing cases where the private gas agencies are selling gas at 225 rupees a kilo, whereas the LPG of IOC is at 100 rupees. So, plus they're asking for a deposit of the cylinder and everything. So it is coming to about 6,000 rupees roughly. So I don't see major change happening in the last 2 days, at least in Bangalore.
Okay, no major change in Bangalore. Chandra Prakash, would you want to, Chandra Prakash, please do comment on that. Any assurances for the hotel industry?
For hotel industry, restaurant and the commercial use, state government and oil company, they both a joint team. And the major decision is from Principal Secretary Food and Supply of the state government. So they have to release the list of the consumers whom they want to give the priority. And secondly, what everybody is saying, black marketing, I can assure you there is no black marketing from the distributor network because there is no cylinder of commercial with the distributors. Whatever oil company is supplying the commercial cylinder, they are with the record, and the officers are tracking them. The user, the restaurant, hotelier, whatever the commercial, they are giving the undertaking. This is our demand as per the quota. Distributor is supposed to supply. So this is there is a two type of the consumer. One consumer is like in Bangalore, who are registered with the distributor and oil companies. Other is those who are not registered with anybody, any organization, neither with oil company, neither from distributors. They were procuring the cylinders in the past from some other channel, maybe private channel or some unauthorized channel. So they are crying, they are more crying the black marketing and all that. The genuine hotelier restaurant, those who are registered, they are negotiating, they are talking to the government and oil companies. So this is some people have created, there is a black marketing. How people can black marketing? Some people, those who are purchasing domestic cylinder, they are supplying the consumer, maybe poor or some bad element. They are rushing to the distributor godam. They are rushing to the showroom. They want LPG from any source, and they are from our ground feedback. They are selling these cylinders to these scrupulous persons. Those who may selling the cylinder in black marketing. I assure you, the oil company and the distributor network, no one is involved in any type of diversion or a black market, may it be the domestic or a commercial. I can assure you, whatever commercial cylinder we will receive, we can distribute as per policy.
And all right. So if you have assurances that is given, we're going to take your word for it, because I'm assuming that you may have got a direction from the government as well, from the center, on how to deal with this crisis at this point. But thank you very much for the word of assurance there, Chandra Prakash and our President of the Hotel Association Karnataka, joining us. Thanks very much. We will continue following up on this. Subramanya Holla and Chandraprakash, appreciate your time.